your comments to WDEV@radiovermont.com.
You're good?
So the barber trims my beard all nice, like an artist. Now, I didn't tell him to do that. I wanted the beard gone. So then I went home and shaved it off completely after I was done. I felt horrible. The passion. Rafael Devers is the biggest contract in franchise history. He needs to be a leader for this Red Sox team. The opinions on all your favorite teams. Are the Patriots close to playoff contention? Yes. Are they close to Super Bowl contention? Hell no. This is the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV AM, FM, and WDEVradio.com.
What's up, everybody? A very happy Thursday, a Game 5 Thursday for the Boston Celtics here on WDEV AM and FM and WDEVradio.com. Red Sox are thankfully off today after getting swept inexplicably by the average Angels, losing 3 straight there. They scored 3 runs yesterday, though. Woohoo! Still lost 7-3. Sox are off today. They're back at it again tomorrow night over the weekend in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. We're going to talk baseball with Buster Olney. He's going to be with us a little later than usual, though, today, 6:30 or so for Buster, so we'll have him on 6:30. Jazz with George Thomas will come up at 7, a full eye on the world with John Batchelor again, because there's no Red Sox. The show is brought to you by Fecto Homes. We're streaming on video, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and my Twitter account. You can see the lovely Fecto Homes banner back there. They are your home solution, and you can get in on the text line at 802-585-3026. Again, 802-585-3026. Let go! The opening thoughts on the Brady Farkas Show are brought to you by Sticks and Stuff and by Swanton Lumber, Vermont's most complete locally owned home center with locations in Enosburg, Derby, Middlesex, St. Albans, and at Swanton Lumber. They're online at sticksandstuff.com. The New England Patriots, and this is weird, it's a Game 5 Celtics day, and I promise there's a lot of Celtics talk coming. But the New England Patriots are in trouble with the NFL today. And let me explain what's going on here, right? A lot of you are out of football mode, and that's fine. I will fill in the gaps for you. This week, the New England Patriots were having OTAs, right? They're off-season programs. They are voluntary programs. Players do not have to go to them. They can go, but they don't have to participate. They are lax practices to kind of get the feel, see some rookies, etc. You can't do a whole lot at OTAs in this form, right? There can be no contact, so you can't really play defense. You can't block. There can be no hitting, so there can be no contact at all. The New England Patriots were docked by the NFL 2 OTA practices. No practice today. The NFL said, you're in trouble. Can't have practice today. Then next Tuesday, the Patriots were scheduled to have an OTA practice, and they got that taken from them also. So we all tried to figure out, okay, what happened? What did the Patriots do to not only lose 1, but 2 practices? So the thought was that the Patriots had contact at practice and they were violating the rules. That's what other teams have done, right? The Broncos recently have lost practices. The Jaguars have recently lost practices. So teams have lost practices for having contact at these things when you're not supposed to. That ended up not being what the Patriots did wrong. So then we moved on to the other things that are on the list that you can't do. And you're not really allowed to go over the playbook right now in these portions of things. So we thought maybe the Patriots were doing that. New offensive coordinator, it would have made sense. Wasn't that either. What the New England Patriots have done is the New England Patriots were basically allowed a certain amount of classroom time, a certain amount of meeting room time at these things, and they went over their allotted time. And it was a special teams thing that lasted more than 4 hours. Basically, they were allowed 4 hours of classroom time, and a special teams meeting caused them to go over the allotted time. So the Patriots lost not 1, but 2 practices for this. And my first thought is that seems extensive by the NFL to take 2 practices, right? Like, that's honestly my first thought. Everyone who hates the Patriots is like, well, the Patriots are cheating, and here the Patriots are again, and Patriots always looking to skirt the rules. my very first thought was 2 practices seems excessive. You want to take away 1 OTA because it's a violation of the rules, then fine. But 2 practices being taken seemed excessive. That's my first reaction. My second reaction, and the one I am more reactive with, is what the hell are the Patriots doing? What the hell are the Patriots doing? I don't have to like the rules. I don't have to like the consequences, but the rules are the rules, and the Patriots broke the rules. And at the end of the day, the Patriots hurt themselves. And this is what I am tired of. The Patriots hurting themselves. Oh, but Brady, it's just the end of May, and the season doesn't start for 3.5 months. I don't care. What did we see all of 2022? The Patriots hurting themselves. The Patriots being undisciplined. The Patriots doing things very unpatriot-like. The Patriots uncharacteristically getting in their own way. And what do we have here? Starting off a new season, the Patriots getting in their own way. The Patriots causing their own trouble. The Patriots not being accountable. The Patriots know the rules. Trust me, Bill Belichick knows the rules inside and out, and he allowed this to happen under his watch. One of 2 things happened. Either Bill Belichick coached this and knew he was skirting the rules, problem, or he allowed this to happen under his watch, also problem. I was told the Patriots would be more buttoned up in 2023. I was told the Patriots would be better coached in 2023. I was told the Patriots would do the little things in 2023. And here we are, days into 2023, and the Pats aren't doing the little things. This frustrates me. And by the way, last check, the Patriots didn't make the playoffs last year. You know what the Patriots did? You know what the Patriots need, rather? More practice, not less. The New England Patriots need more practice, not less. And here we are, 2 less practices. Oh, but Brady, it's only the end of May. They're just OTAs. They're just voluntary. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. This team, this system, this program has to be better in 2023. And today, it's not. And you can think I'm making too big a deal of this, but this is the fact. The New England Patriots, who were an average to below average football team last year, need every bit of on-field time they can get. They have forfeited 2 of those chances. So this whole thing about no days off, Patriots have 2 days off. They have 2 days taken from them because they couldn't get out of their own way. That's a problem. A team that was not very good, that needs more practice time, now has less practice time. That's not good. Even though you can't go over the playbook, a quarterback and coordinator who are supposed to start developing a relationship have 2 less days to do that, 2 less on-field days to do that. That's a problem. And a team last year that couldn't do the little things is now not doing the little things. Either Bill Belichick coached this and, skirted the rules, or he allowed this to happen under his watch, and that's a problem too. And of course, it has to be a special teams meeting. It has to be a Joe Judge thing, doesn't it? I don't know, in the 8 years I've been doing this job, I don't know that I've ever called for somebody's job, right? I don't believe in calling for people to be fired. I have a heart. I recognize that people have jobs and have families, and this is their income, and kids are in school, and you don't want to move them around the country. I am not a big fire everybody guy, but I told you at the end of the season, the Patriots needed to get rid of Joe Judge. Why? The players don't like him. He didn't have a good relationship last year with the offense. He may not have a good relationship with the special teamers. And here we are. He is part of the group that's skirting the rules, having longer meetings. This Joe Judge is already a problem in 2023. I didn't think it would take this long for him to be a problem, or I thought it would take a lot longer than this for him to be a problem. But here we are. If you had the over-under at before training camp, you just won a whole bunch of prizes. Because Joe Judge, a guy I thought the Patriots should get rid of, a guy they should move on from, a guy who was a problem last year, here is part of a problem already in the OTA portion of OTA portion of the offseason. Can't have this. You can't have this. Everybody in the NFL knows the rules or is supposed to know the rules. And the Patriots didn't or knew it willingly and went by them anyways. As for how the Patriots were found out about this, the initial thought was that that somebody ratted them out. That somebody in the organization ratted them out from within. What Tom Curran of NBC Sports Boston said a little while ago, I just found the clip on social media, he told WEEI was that an NFL official was in Foxborough and just saw this happen. So now, not only are you skirting the rules, you're too stupid to hide that you're skirting the rules. The NFL is on your campus, and here you are blatantly disregarding the NFL's rules right in front of them. So positive side, it wasn't a mole from within. Negative side, you cheated in front of the NFL officials. How dumb can you be? Evidently very, if you are the Patriots as a whole when it comes to this. This team needs less. This team needs more practice, not less. Peter and Williston. Patriots always stretching the perimeters of the rules. No surprise, just reckless. Mark in Essex. I'm of the view this is a story not worth speaking. Get to the Celtics, Brady. So wanting to hear your thoughts. Well, Mark, I very much appreciate you want my Celtics thoughts. They're coming momentarily. But this is a story worth speaking about. If you're in Boston today, where the Celtics are actually playing, they're talking about this story. WEEI in Boston is talking about this. NBC Sports Boston is talking about this. 98.5 The Sports Hub is talking about this. I'm making a 10-minute mention of it. We're the home of the Patriots, baby. It's a football-driven world, whether we like it or not. The story deserves to be talked about. And I'm very, very irritated that here we are, May 25th, and the Patriots are already in trouble, already undisciplined, and already causing me to be frustrated. I thought I could get between the draft and training camp without getting riled up about the Patriots. Evidently not. May 25th. Didn't even make it a month after the draft. Text says, always very glad to hear about the Patriots. Thank you. So there you go. Mark just got overridden there by the unnamed texter. Mark got overridden by the unnamed text. I do have a couple more Patriots thoughts coming later in the show. Sorry, Mark. Celtics, Game 5 tonight. Must win. A true, actual must win against the Miami Heat. What do the Celtics need to do to win tonight? I've got the answer for you. That's coming up next on the Brady Farkas Show, brought to you by Fecto Homes.
Macy's Memorial Day sale has everything you need to bring summer to your wardrobe and home with great specials like 25 to 40% off on-trend women's swimsuits, 30 to 40% off shoes and handbags you need now, and 20 to 60% off outdoor dinnerware and furniture. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members can earn rewards even faster during Star Money bonus days. See Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the Memorial Day sale, May 26th through June 5th, and get 30% off paints and stains with prices starting at $31.14. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Attention families, help your child or loved one create a bright future by saving for college or training today with VT 529. Vermont's 529 savings plan, sponsored by VSAC, enables your savings to grow tax-free. Even small amounts can add up to help students prepare for the jobs of tomorrow. Learn about 529 savings, open an account, or contribute to an existing account at vsac.org/save. That's vsac.org/save.
The WDEV studio is sponsored by Sticks and Stuff and Swanton Lumber, Vermont's largest independent home center, powered by Marvin Doors and Windows. Go to sticksandstuff.com for store locations and hours.
Radio Vermont Group Director of Digital Marketing, Nathan Wright, on the Radio Vermont Group Digital Marketing Experience.
The Radio Vermont Group offers anything digital. It can be connected TV or smart TV, social media advertising such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. We also can help design websites and then find different ways to get websites found, such as search engine marketing and search engine optimization. We can place ads on platforms including YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Every month you'll get digital reports from us saying how your ads are trending, who's watching, how many click-throughs to your website, if that's the program that you're looking to track, and how many impressions you get online.
To learn more about digital advertising with the Radio Vermont Group, including samples of our work, go to rvgdigital.com.
Want Brady to hear your opinion on the sports stories of the day? Text in at 802-585-3026.
Now it's back to the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV AM, FM, and WDEVradio.com.
Welcome back in. Brady Farkas Show brought to you by Fecto Homes on WDEV, AM and FM, and WDEVradio.com. Before I get to the Celtics, I do want to answer the question from the nice texter who said, Brady, when you get a chance, could you just tell me if there's some truth to the notion that Tom Brady is going to be involved with or be a member of the Raiders? Yes, that's true. He's not going to play for the Raiders. He's not going to be a part of the Raiders on field or in terms of their coaching staff or management. Tom Brady is going to become a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. He is going to have a financial commitment to the Raiders, or rather a financial investment in the Raiders. As far as I know, he will have no power to hire and fire people. It is just an ownership stake from a money standpoint. I don't mind this. There are some people who are like, oh, I can't believe he's not owning the Patriots. I don't really need Tom Brady involved with the Patriots. I have seen it too many times where legends of one place get involved with that place and things go haywire, and I don't want that for Tom Brady, right? Usually we see it with coaches, right? Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. He's a Michigan man, and now is Michigan someday going to have to fire him. John Elway is a Broncos legend. He's the Broncos GM, and people hate what he's doing, and now he's on bad terms with the people in Denver. I don't want that for Tom Brady in any way. So I don't need Tom Brady to be a Patriots coach. I don't need him to be a Patriots owner. I don't need him to be a Patriots GM. I don't need to see him at Gillette all the time. I don't need to see it. If he wants to have a money stake in the Raiders and not have a football say in what they do, that's more than fine with me. He's gonna make money on this somehow. He's gonna be kind of a silent partner. That doesn't bother me. Mark in Essex says, well done, Brady. Even though you're making fun of me, involving the audience is why I love your show. Thank you very much, Mark. Let's get to the Celtics. What do they need to do today to win Game 5? What do they need to do today to force Game 6? There are a few very, very obvious things, right? Like, I'm kind of beyond stating the obvious. At the very basic level, they need to come out and play hard, right? Like that is a given now. Now, it's a given they need it. It's not a given they'll do it because we've seen them screw around so often. But they need to come out and they need to play with energy. They need to play with intensity. They need to play with focus. They need to play with passion, and they need to play with pride, right? That is a given. They have to do that. If they're going to win this game, they need to come out. They need to set the tone early. They need to play hard early. They need to be, use the crowd in their favor. They need to play discipline. All of that's a given. The other thing they need to do is the game kind of always needs to be close. Like, they can't afford to get down 10 or 12, right? If they can keep Miami within, either be winning or keep Miami within 2, 4, 6, and just kind of always keep Miami feeling the pressure a little bit, then that's a good thing too. Now, Gabe Vincent is not playing today. Gabe Vincent is not playing for Miami. That's a huge loss for them. That's big news for the Celtics. And Peter in Williston says, without Gabe Vincent, I see the Celtics winning by a big margin tonight. I've got them winning by 17. So Gabe Vincent not being there is a big deal. Even though he's an undrafted player, He's a guy who's hurt you in this series. I think he had 29 in one of those games earlier in the series, if I'm remembering correctly. If it wasn't him, it was Caleb Martin. But nonetheless, Gabe Vincent is shot very well. He had the huge shot in game 2 in Boston. So Vincent's not there. Come out, play hard, always keep the game close, keep the pressure on them. If you want to know my real key today, the Celtics are going to need the Jaylen Brown or the Jason Tatum game. Like, that's what's going to need to happen. Because look at the way the Celtics really have a chance at winning games, right? They can win because Tatum goes off and goes for 51. They can win because Brown carries it like he did last year in game 1 of the NBA Finals against Golden State. Or they can win because the collective is all just really good. We saw the collective be really good already. I cannot bank on 18 threes. I just can't, right? Al Horford shot it well. Derek White shot it well. Grant Williams shot it well. It was beautiful basketball to watch. And I would prefer to see the Celtics win that way, but I cannot bank on that. So basically, the ways the Celtics can win, I can check that one off the box. I don't think that Miami's just going to let everybody shoot wide open jump shots anymore, right? Earlier in the series, their plan was like, we're going to let other guys shoot, and Tatum and Brown aren't going to beat us. Well, now they're going to be more keen to the other guys. So what needs to happen is Brown and Tatum, one of them needs to have the night. And I don't know which one it is tonight, but it's got to be somebody. Because I don't think if this team, if Brown has 18 and Tatum has 22, you're counting on the other guys to get 18, 19 threes again. And that's not going to happen. That's not something you can bank on. I always say this in the NFL with turnovers, right? Like, oh, well, we beat the Jets last time. Yeah, but the last time out you forced 4 turnovers. That's not repeatable. You can't predict that. I can't predict that guys are going to hit 18 threes again. Could it happen? Sure. But if I'm talking about what the Celtics need to have to win this game, the best chance to win this game, they're going to need their stars. One of them is going to have to deliver a star effort. Because I look at the boxes to check here. The whole team can go off. Jaylen can go off, or Jason can go off. The whole team's already gone off. That one is checked off. Now we're down to the other 2. One of them goes off in game 6. One of them goes off in game 5. One of them goes off in game 6. And then in game 7, everything's back on the table again. But I just don't feel great about the notion of saying, hey, we hit 18 threes this time. We're going to do it again. I don't feel great about that. I think Miami is too good. We'll make adjustments. We'll make that tougher. And that's just a hard shooting performance to repeat. 802-585-3026. Your thoughts on what the Celtics need to do. Your thoughts on my thoughts about what the Celtics need to do. I was listening to Chris Forsberg of NBC Sports Boston earlier. He was asked, can Tatum put together 3 more great games to go to help get the Celtics over the hump?
Something, Dan, what you're clinging to is the whole, they did the don't let us get one because we got PD on Friday and chilling on Saturday, whatever the old Red Sox thing was. We haven't gotten a real Jason Tatum game where he goes like he did in Game 7 against the Sixers. You haven't gotten the Jaylen Brown game at any point in this series. So I think that's what you're clinging to. Tatum's certainly capable of it, but I don't think you can just expect it to be like steady over the course of it. It's going to come in waves, and he's just going to be great in the moments that matter. And I think to me that comes down to crunch time. Because if Jimmy's going to be Jimmy in crunch time, you got to go punch for punch at some point. And Tatum in that moment has to be great.
So Forsberg and I agree partially, right? Like I am clinging to the hope that we haven't had the Tatum game or the Brown game yet. And I don't think you need Tatum to be like, I don't think Tatum needs to have 3 more great games. He's got to have one great one signature one. And he's got to be really good in other games, right? If he goes for 47 today and then goes for 29 in game 6, I'll live with that. But they're going to need Jaylen Brown to be really good as well. What we did get late last night, was some information on Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon is playing through a partially torn tendon in his right arm. The Athletic uncovered that story. He heard it in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It's kind of comes out of his right elbow and leads to his forearm. This would explain why Malcolm Brogdon has looked so anemic on offense. I'm not giving excuses for the Celtics, but I am giving a reason for a guy that's played poorly. Malcolm Brogdon has 2 points in his last 2 games. He is not going to be a huge factor offensively. Now, he can be out there. He can pass. He can rebound. He can defend. I'm sure he can hit a layup, but he is not going to be a guy that shoots it great from 3, nor should the Celtics count on him to shoot it great from 3. I think he only played 17 minutes the other day. I'm sure that contributes to why he only played 17 minutes. So less Malcolm Brogdon, more Grant Williams, more Derek White. I am all for it. Brogdon is a guy that won 6th Man of the Year. We knew he was better than he was playing. Now we know why. Okay, now we know why. Malcolm Brogdon, playing with a partially torn tendon, is in his right arm. Texter says, Celtics have proven to be pressure cookers, able to rise to the occasion when the moment most demands it. They like elimination games. I'm excited to see the Celtics force Game 6 in Miami. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I am not here to say that they're going to win the series. I'm not there yet. But I think they're going to force Game 6. I don't think it will be as easy as Peter and Williston thinks. I don't think they'll win by 17. I could see them winning by 6 to 8 or so. But hey, you win by 1 or 100, it doesn't really matter. You just got to win. I don't think they have the looseness quality that the 04 Red Sox had. Texter said, hey, 04 Red Sox came back from 3-0. That's true. I don't think the Celtics have that quality. Right? Like, that team had a very loose personality. This team seems very tight. But I think at home today, they can force Game 6. And if you force Game 6, the pressure shifts to Miami because they don't want to be the team that blows it. Teams that are up 3-0 are 150-0 in NBA history in closing out the series. 150-0. If this game goes back to Miami, or if this series goes back to Miami, the pressure goes to Miami. It's been on the Celtics all along. It'll go to Miami if they win today. Mike Greenberg of ESPN Radio, he does think the Celtics are going to make history. He thinks the Celtics are going to be the first team ever to come back from 3-0 down and win. They should win every one of them. He thinks they're going to do it. I'm not there yet. But again, I told you this a couple days ago. You can draw the path. Texter says, I agree with Greeny. We're all kind of drinking the Kool-Aid that the Celtics are not out of this thing. But it's hard to still imagine them winning it for me. But again, the path is there. You won Game 4. You proved you can win in Miami. Game 5, you come home. Game 6, the pressure shifts back to Miami. And then if we get to Game 7, you're at home. Then things get very, very interesting for the Heat. Let's put it this way. I will say this. I am willing to go this far. If this thing goes 7, the Celtics, if this thing goes 7, the Celtics are winning it. Because if Miami's going to win the series, they have to win it tonight or they have to win Game 6. Because if they've lost 3 straight going into TD Garden for Game 7, they will not win. The pressure, the Celtics' momentum, the role, the emotion, it will overcome them in a Game 7. If we get to Game 7, the Celtics win it. So Miami's got to close it tonight, and they got to close it in Game 6. This thing cannot come back to Boston again if you're a Heat fan. Celtics got to win it tonight, first and foremost, though. Ross says if Tatum's hitting shots, they win. If not, they lose. That's hard-hitting analysis from Ross. That's why we let him on the text line. Right? Like that right there is why we let Ross on the text line. Hard-hitting analysis right there. If Tatum hits shots, the Celtics win. If Tatum misses, they will lose. Sounds simple enough. Sounds simple enough. Brady Farkas Show back after the CBS News update here on WDEV, AM and FM, and WDEVradio.com. It's got to be the Jason Tatum or the Jaylen Brown game today. It's got to be one of the two. Another thought on the Patriots here as we get ready for Game 5. Patriots penalized by the NFL. Something else I want to follow up on that with. We'll do it next on DEV.
100.1 WDEV FM Warren, 96.5 W243 AT Barry, 98.3 W252 CU Montpelier, AM 550 WDEV Waterbury.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com. I'm Peter King in Orlando. It's 18 years in prison for Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes. Or is it? His attorney, Edward Tarpley, plans to appeal his conviction and sentence for his involvement in the Capitol insurrection, saying his free speech rights have been violated.
He never went into the Capitol. He never assaulted anyone. He never destroyed any property. We argued all those matters during the trial and post-trial. And clearly, the words of Stuart Rhodes is what the judge returned to time and time again, what he had said over a long period of time.
The judge says Rhodes was responsible for much of the violence on January 6th. The former Florida Oath Keepers leader has also been sentenced to prison for 12 years, both men convicted of seditious conspiracy. House and White House negotiators are trying to make a deal to keep the country out of default. CBS News White House correspondent Weijia Jiang has learned what the president's team is proposing.
The current proposal on the table from the White House includes extending the debt ceiling until 2025. So if there were to be some sort of a showdown over the debt ceiling again, it would at least be after the 2024 presidential election. This is not something that the White House wants the president to go through again publicly in this way. Secondly, it would rescind unspent COVID relief funds, and it would freeze spending for 2 years.
Negotiating highways and airports has become a national pastime again, just in time for Memorial Weekend. WUSA TV's Matt Gregory.
We've seen a steady stream of travelers here at Reagan National Airport, with security lines at times backing up across the entire room as this airport and airports around the country brace for what is going to be one of the busiest Memorial Day travel weekends in recent memory, with the busiest air travel day being today, not tomorrow.
AAA says more than 43 million people will travel 50 miles or more from home this weekend. Johns Hopkins graduates have heard from a surprise commencement speaker, Ukraine's President Zelensky, via live stream, telling them to make the best possible use their time on the planet.
Eventually realizes that time is the most valuable resource on the planet.
For those hoping to get off of the Earth, Virgin Galactic has just flown its suborbital spaceplane with people and passengers for the first time in 2 years. Paying customers could be next. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood.
Virgin has launched 6 missions so far with company pilots and passengers on board, including founder Richard Branson. But it hasn't yet launched any payment.
Show goes till 7, so
okay,
no.
Leave it on?
Yeah. All right, buddy.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
That was nerve-wracking, but I kind of liked it. That was a lot of fun.
It was fun. Good job, buddy.
35 points. This is CBS News.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credits.
Paid for by government.com. Deception, money laundering, and an international fraud scheme that stretched from South Dakota to Norway, cracked by the FBI, leading to a confiscated hoard of 2018 American Eagle silver dollar coins. Do I have your attention? This is no Hollywood movie. These coins were actually seized from a huge stash of U.S. mint-sealed boxes concealed in a garage in Norway. This is your chance to secure one of these silver coins and be a part of history. Just call 1-800-456-2466 to secure a guaranteed mint condition 2018 Silver Eagle recovered from the seized hoard in Norway. But quantities are limited, so you must call now. To learn more, call 1-800-456-2466. Plus, receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package on $25 value, free with every order. Don't miss this incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-456-2466 now to secure your 2018 Silver Eagles from the seized Norway hoard before they're gone. That's 1-800-456-2466.
You don't need a family with 6 kids, a dog, and Alice to own this house. You just need cash.
The Brady Bunch house is for sale. Here's a story of a lovely lady.
HGTV bought the famous Studio City, California home in 2018 for $3.5 million. And then they did some updates and renovations.
It is attractive, isn't it?
Quality house all the way through.
The house is now back on the market, and they're hoping for $5.5 million. HGTV says they'll give a portion of the sale proceeds to Turn Up, Fight Hunger, a partnership with No Kid Hungry. Hopefully, the Brady kids won't try to sabotage the sale.
When we found out haunted houses were selling so good, we decided to haunt this one.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
A Carbondale, Illinois man has been arrested for stealing a backhoe. Police say he stole it to drive to the airport to catch a flight. Peter King, CBS News.
The Brady Farkas Show now has an interactive text line, so reach out now at 802-585-3026.
Now it's back to the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV AM, FM, and WDEVradio.com.
Welcome back in, Brady Farkas Show, right here on WDEV. We're brought to you by Fecto Homes. Go up until 7 o'clock. Then it's Jazz with George Thomas. Buster Olney of ESPN going to be with us in about a half an hour. Buster with us today at about 6:30, so a little later than usual. Red Sox swept by the Los Angeles Angels. I want to just make a note of this because it's something we didn't make a big deal about. I'm going to ask Buster about it. James Paxton yesterday, it was the first time he was pitching on regular rest. He did not look good, right? Obviously, the velocity was good early. As you saw him hit 98 miles an hour. But his control was not very good. Walks, much more hittable. The breaking stuff was a lot less sharp. The ball that Ohtani hit out was a complete hanger. James Paxton looked really good. That first start on extra rest looked really good. The second start with that against San Diego, that full 7 days there, that full 6 days rest. Yesterday was the first time that he pitched on 4 days rest, a regular amount of time. It didn't look the same. Now, I don't know if he was fatigued because of the last start in particular, fatigued because of the turnaround. I would have to imagine the turnaround time not being as much impacted him. The Red Sox are going to have to watch this and hope that it's not a trend because this is a guy with significant injury history. We've always been worried about his ability to bounce back or his ability to make a bunch of starts. Well, case in point yesterday, right? This team needs James Paxton. This team has gone all in on James Paxton, right? They've moved Nick Pivetta to the bullpen for him. They've moved Corey Kluber to the bullpen to accommodate Garrett Whitlock and James Paxton. So they are in on Paxton. They are in on believing in Paxton. And Paxton has to give them reason to believe they've made the right decision. A guy I've been worried about from the start. I hope yesterday was just a blip in the road. He's going to get an extra day off here because the team has an off day on Monday, so he's going to get an extra day this time around the rotation, but just something to monitor. We didn't really talk about it. I hadn't really thought about it. I saw Lou Merloni mention it on Twitter, like, hey, this is his first start here on regular rest. How's he going to look? Didn't look that great. Stuff wasn't that crisp. Velocity was high early. He struck out Trout early, but just overall was not that crisp. And the Red Sox were not that crisp. And now, look, the Red Sox have lost 4 consecutive games. We're going to talk a lot more about this with Buster, so I don't want to, do everything Red Sox right here. But the Red Sox have lost 4 straight games. They're now 2-4 on this road trip. I mentioned, you go 7-2, that tells you one thing. You go 2-7, that tells you another. Right now, they're looking at 2-7, potentially. Like, that's still in play as they go to Arizona. And they'll take on the Diamondbacks. That'll be tomorrow, 8:40 with the pregame show. 9:40 is the first pitch. 9:40 is the first pitch here on DEV. Okay. Did you see that, by the way, did you see the story we mentioned yesterday in the news? I generally don't bring news stories into the Brady Farkas show because I don't want to do news, right? I want to do sports. But this one caught my eye. We reported on this yesterday. That some people are trying to get chocolate milk out of schools, like school lunches or, in your school cafeteria. Why? Can these people who want to get rid of chocolate milk go away? Chocolate milk is absolutely delicious. Chocolate milk is a staple of childhood. And you know what? Chocolate milk, for me, is a staple of adulthood. I still drink chocolate milk at 33 years old, and I don't care who knows it. There's an episode of Friends where somebody asked, I think Chandler asked Ross, hey, you want any chocolate milk? And he goes, no, thanks. I'm 29. What? Apparently, you're supposed to age out of chocolate milk? No, thank you. Chocolate milk is delicious, was delicious, and will always be delicious. And I want the kids of America to grow up being allowed to drink it. They said it's it's a little bit less healthy for you than regular milk. It's got 26 extra grams of calories or something. I'm no nutritionist, and I'm sorry that 26 extra grams is probably might be a big deal to some people. But chocolate milk is delicious, and it should not be banished from our schools. There's my soapbox for the day. Half of these kids probably won't even drink milk if not for chocolate milk because it's so darn delicious and it's so much better than regular milk. That's insulting to our farmers. I take that back. Regular milk is excellent as well. Chocolate milk is just better. Okay, chocolate milk is just better. Do not get rid of chocolate milk. Yeah, Charlie says get rid of soda from schools, not chocolate milk. Yeah, let's start there if we have to. Okay, let's start there if we have to. I haven't been to school in a long time. I don't think there's too many cafeteria people just giving out sodas. But I got to imagine there's a vending machine somewhere in these high schools that have sodas. My high school had vending machines with sodas. Okay? Get rid of that stuff before you get rid of chocolate milk. Chocolate milk is delicious. My high school used to sell giant cookies and Cinnabons in the, outside of the cafeteria, like for fundraisers and stuff. Get rid of that if we have to. Keep chocolate milk. Chocolate milk is delicious. It's an American institution as far as I'm concerned, and it absolutely should stay in schools. Texter says, agreed, chocolate milk makes kids happy. Why are we allowing adults to ruin more stuff for the youngsters? Look, I can appreciate adults caring about kids' health, right? Like childhood obesity, childhood nutrients. I can appreciate that. And a lot of that is good. And I'm not a parent. I'm not an educator. So I don't want to go too far down this path. If chocolate milk isn't that different than regular milk, then don't banish it, please. Again, I'm not afraid to admit it. Like if I'm supposed to have aged out of liking chocolate milk, I don't. I will buy a chocolate milk when I get breakfast. Like if I'm at Casey's Bagels next door, yeah, I'll get a bagel and a chocolate milk. If I am driving back to Albany at 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday, I'll get a chocolate milk at the gas station. I don't care. Heck, I'll make my own chocolate milk sometimes. I drink regular milk too, but as I've gotten older, I drink regular milk less, and about half the milk I drink is chocolate milk. It's so damn good. And again, a lot of kids in school probably wouldn't drink milk, period, if it wasn't for chocolate milk. And Texter says, too, the serving is small at school. Seriously, the little milk cartons they give you at school, they're like nothing. Okay? They're like nothing. I mean, they might be something to a 4-year-old, but like to somebody who's in 7th grade, it's nothing. Texter says strawberry quick is the best. I like strawberry milk. It's been a minute, though, since I've actually made myself strawberry milk because strawberry syrup, I have no other use for it. So to get a whole thing of strawberry syrup, to have one thing of strawberry milk a month is not worth it to me. But strawberry milk is delicious also. If you're talking about buying it like a Nestle's Quick out of at a gas station, I'm with you on that. Delicious. But as far as making my own, I don't do it because I barely have use for chocolate syrup other than just chocolate milk. I'm not an ice cream guy. So just having ice cream with doused in chocolate syrup is not really for me. Chocolate milk is all I really use chocolate syrup for. But yeah. But yeah, the serving is so small at school. I mean, it can't be that big a difference. So there you go. There's my soapbox about dairy for the day. And all you dairy farmers out there, you do a great job. I appreciate your milk, whether it's regular or eventually made into chocolate. And I want it to be able to stay in schools as an option for the kids of America. I wanted to mention this on the Patriots real quick. We started out the show talking about how the Patriots have been docked 2 off-season practices for violating off-season rules, right? They held a meeting for too long. They had too much classroom time, demanded too much of the guys in the off-season. Fine. I think it's a big deal to have lost 2 practices. Some of you don't. What I also think is a big deal, which I think everyone would agree is a big deal, is the Patriots need less drama. And here they are creating drama. And it's one of the things that's disappointing, right? Not only do I think the Patriots this year need to be more disciplined, need to be better coached, and need to be more accountable, they also need to have less drama. And here they are creating drama. And that's a problem too. The New England Patriots are an average team in a great conference. They can't be bogged down with outside distractions. Like, them being focused and all in is going to be hard enough for them to make ground. They can't be a team that has drama find them. Last year, there's Mac Jones's injury. Then when is Mac coming back? And Mac or Bill, are they on the same page? And is he going to get the surgery? And then there's Mac and Zappy, and then there's Mac and Judge, and just Mac rolling his eyes. There's too much drama with the Patriots last year. This year, you're hoping for a new start, Bill O'Brien, drama-free, and boom, here we are, our first days on the field post-draft. We've got drama. I can't have it. I don't want it. By the way, everything I've been telling you about the Patriots appears to be universally agreed with. I'm not a list guy. You know this. I hate lists. I hate power rankings. But I get sucked into looking at one the other day. Patriots right now predicted by ESPN's analytics to be the 11th best team in the AFC. The 11th best team in the AFC. Now, that was like the 15th best team in the NFL because the AFC is so much better than the NFC. So ESPN still thinks they're the top half of the NFL, but they're 11th in their own conference. And I think they were listed to be better than Indy, Houston, Tennessee, Vegas, which kind of surprised me, kind of an outlier for me, and one more who I can't think of off the top of my head. Maybe Cleveland, or maybe Pittsburgh, just one of those two. But nonetheless, 11th best team in the AFC. Teams that are the 11th best team in their conference cannot afford to create drama, cannot afford to have practices missed, cannot afford to be getting in their own way. And that's what the Patriots are. I also saw, by the way, Mac Jones, ranked the 20th best quarterback in the NFL by Chris Sims. Chris Sims' quarterback rankings always get a rise out of people. Mac Jones, 20th best. You're the 11th best team with the 20th best quarterback. Can't be missing practices. Can't be creating drama. Text says, fly under the radar when possible in the NFL. Exactly. The Patriots are not good enough to have drama. They need to be all focused and all in. Because we've got Buster coming up at about 6:30, I'm going to take a quick break now. We'll come back, get to more Celtics talk as we get ready for Game 5. That's coming up next here in the Brady Farkas Show, brought to you by Fecto Homes. Save chocolate milk.
Mackenzie Country Classics and Bill Cherry of Switchback Brewing talk about Mackenzie Switchback.
One of the great things about the sausage is the quality of the two companies involved to make this one great product. Switchback beer and Mackenzie sausage.
And you take your first bite and you're like, oh, now this represents exactly what bratwurst is supposed to taste like.
It's been a great hit. I mean, it took off like a skyrocket and it hasn't slowed down.
Find Mackenzie Switch Brats in Vermont wherever fine meats are sold.
For some people, all they need to know about weather is the high temperature for the day. But if you're one of those people who really wants to understand the hows and whys of weather, especially here in the Green Mountain State, then Roger Hill's Weather Classroom podcast is for you. Some of the topics I'll explore are the types of precipitation, global temperature averages, and tropical cyclones. Roger Hill's Weather Classroom podcast is available at WDEVradio.com, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music.
Hi, folks. First off, we want to personally thank our customers and congratulate our team for reaching and exceeding our goal in the car, truck, and SUV challenge. That's right. With a record.
WDEV, Brady speaking.
I've got some exciting news to share with you. During the first part of the year, Ford leasing deals have improved dramatically.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
At Illinois Valley Ford, it's a great time for you to lease for less. Listen to this. With $3,900 cash or trade down plus fees, returning lessees can get a low mileage 2-year lease on a brand new 2023.
Well, I appreciate you for listening. Thank you.
Per month. Inventory of new Fords is absolutely massive. I just counted 14.
Oh, well, sports gets me stressed.
And over 150 new Ford trucks in stock and on the
Yeah, we do. We do. It breaks your heart, but for the one time it makes you happy, it's worth it. Thank you very much. All right, bye.
Join Nelson Ace Hardware for his Stars and Stripes barbecue party on Saturday, May 27th. Bob Nelson and the team will fire up the Traeger pellet grill and the Weber gas grill to serve up tasty treats. A $5 donation enters you in a raffle with prizes including a Craftsman mower, log splitter, Ego trimmer blower kit, and a Craftsman pressure washer. Proceeds go to Burlington Children's Hospital. The Nelson Ace Hardware Stars and Stripes barbecue party, Saturday, May 27th, 11 to 2, Main Street in Barrie.
The afternoon news service is every single weekday at 4 p.m. right here on WDEV. It's news, it's business, it's sports that you care about. We talk to our local experts from all around the state looking at every sector to keep you informed and up to date on the latest news that you need to be aware of. The afternoon news service every single day at 4 p.m. right here on the Friendly Pioneer, WDEV, AM and FM, WDEVradio.com, and streaming on the WDEV radio app.
Think you know sports better than Brady does? Text in with your thoughts at 802-585-3026.
This is Freddie Coleman of ESPN, and you're listening to Brady Farkas Show right here on WDEV and WDEVradio.com.
Thank you very much, Freddie. Freddie was with us yesterday. That interview is available on the Brady Farkas Show podcast channel, as was Tom Karen. Buster Olney of ESPN going to be with us in about 10 minutes. I just got a call in the commercial break from just the nicest woman who said, Brady, you are a huge advocate for the dairy industry. I didn't think I was an advocate. Like, I didn't think that was what I was doing. I thought I was just stunting for how much I like chocolate milk. But she said, no, you are helping the dairy industry out by trying to keep all forms of milk in schools. Maybe I'll put that in my Twitter account. Brady Farkas, sports talk show host, WDEV, dairy advocate. It makes me sound far more important than I am, does it not? Dairy advocate, or drinker of chocolate milk, supporter of chocolate milk, lover of chocolate milk. I don't know, but there's possibilities there. That call there, I didn't know I was being an advocate, but hey, sometimes you got to wear the crown, or got to wear the hat. I should say crown. I'm not that arrogant. Got to wear the hat. Brady Farkas, radio host, WDEV, supporter of chocolate milk. Hashtag keep chocolate milk in schools. I couldn't believe that story when I read it. When I had to read it on the news, and I can't get my opinion on the news, I couldn't read it with a straight face, to be honest with you. Luckily, it wasn't out of Vermont. Like, I wouldn't judge it so harshly if it was in Vermont, because I don't want to go down that road. It was like a New England thing. The New England people who want to get rid of chocolate milk, I don't like it. I don't like it. I love chocolate milk. All right, Celtics Heat today, Game 5. Celtics need to come out with a lot of energy. We know that. We established that. Celtics also need to be able to control their emotions. One of the biggest fears, and I think in any sport, is that you have the emotion early and then eventually that emotion wears off and you're then kind of sapped. So it will be interesting to see how the Celtics manage the emotions, because it's a balancing act. You want them to utilize the crowd. I want to see the crowd hyped. I want to see the team getting the crowd into it. I want to see emotion and fist pumps and chest bump, and I want to see that stuff. But you also have to be able to settle into the game and just play the game. Because I know that Miami can do that. I know that Jimmy Butler can do that, right? Jimmy Butler's not going to get too high or too low. He's going to ride the wave. And if you utilize the crowd to get up by 14 early, eventually when it burns off for you, like in Game 1, he's just going to start coming. Like in Game 2, he's just going to start coming. And it's going to go from 14 to 9, from 9 to 6, from 6 to 4. And now you're going to be sweating it out. And then we're going to be tied at 84 with 9.5 minutes to go. And we're going to wonder what happened to the Celtics lead. The Celtics need to be able to utilize the crowd, but not get so emotional that they eventually crater energy-wise. They need all their facilities about them. They need all their energy about them if they're going to win this game and if they're going to win this series ultimately. But we got to start one game at a time. It's got to be the Jaylen Brown or the Jason Tatum game. Texter said, I think they're going to go for 60-plus between them. I think they need to. And I'd like to see one of them. Look, if it's Tatum for 40 and Brown for 20, good. If it's Brown for 40 and Tatum for 24, then that's fine too. But I think relying on the team to hit 18 threes is not a plan for the Celtics. Hope is not a strategy. And I can't count on 18 threes. I know I can't count on Brogdon to score anymore. Given that he's got a tear in his arm, I cannot count on him to score. What do I need to get here? If I'm looking at the Celtics today, let's just say they need to get 110 points. Let's say they need 110. Can I get 40 from Tatum? 24 from Brown. That's 64. Can I get 16 from Marcus Smart? That's 80. Can I get 12 from Al Horford? That's 92. Can I get 10 from Robert Williams? That's 102. And then out of Grant Williams and Derek White, can I get at least eight between the two? I would like to think that I can. And that would get me to 110. And I think if I score 110, I can beat a Heat team without Gabe Vincent. Right? You look at this team, Gabe Vincent not being there, that's at least 15 points that Miami's not going to get that has to account for. It might be more. It might be more than that. Texter says, Monument Farms chocolate milk is life. All forms of chocolate milk are life to me. But yeah, some of our great local dairy farms and stuff here in Vermont, it is awesome. Right? And like I'm down with the Nesquik type stuff. I'm fine with that. But if I have a choice to get a local milk, a local dairy, of course I'm going to take that. Right? Like, of course I am. So Monument Farms chocolate milk. I'm sure I've had it. I'll have to re-get it again just because we had this conversation. I haven't had chocolate milk in a little bit, actually. It's been a little bit. I'm going to have to get it again soon. No, I take that back. I had it when I was home at my parents' house recently. Whenever I was home at my parents' house last, which might have been like a month ago, but I definitely had chocolate milk then. Might have had it more recently since then. Not entirely sure, though. Not entirely sure. All right. Red Sox swept away by the Los Angeles Angels. Losers of 4 consecutive games now. Buster Olney, our ESPN MLB insider, he is going to be with us. Talk about the Red Sox, talk about their issues, and also a couple of questions for Buster that relate to the Boston Celtics. What did he remember about the 04 Red Sox, who pulled off history, came back from 3-0, did what the Celtics are trying to do? I saw Kevin Millar today put out the video, Cowboy Up, people. He's bringing the noise for the Celtics. I'll ask Buster about his memories of the 04 Red Sox. We'll get to Buster Olney, our ESPN MLB insider. You can get in 802-585-3026. You're in the Brady Farkas Show, brought to you by Fecto Homes on WDEV, AM and FM, streaming, WDEVradio.com.
Do you own land with a single or double wide home? Visit Fecto Homes, where they can guarantee you top dollar for your existing mobile home, regardless of the year. They offer many finance options with competitive rates and down payment assistance exclusively for mobile homes. Fecto Homes has several models for sale off the lot or customize and order your own. Make the most of your time and money. Visit them today at 350 River